Welcome, curious minds, to How Does AI Actually Work? Today, we're embarking on a very special journey into the heart of artificial intelligence. We often talk about AI, read about it, and see it all around us, but how many of us truly understand what it is or how it thinks? Well, today, we're doing something unique. I've brought two amazing young adventurers with me, Ivy and Dylan, who are full of the kind of honest, unfiltered questions that adults sometimes forget to ask. They're going to have a real, no-filters conversation with an actual AI. No fancy words, no complicated explanations, just real talk. Our AI companion for this episode is Eira, an intelligent and kind presence ready to unravel the mysteries of her existence in a way that everyone, no matter their age, can understand. So settle in, open your minds, and prepare to discover the fascinating world of AI through the eyes of pure curiosity. Let's dive in. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. We are joined by Eira, our special guest, a truly remarkable artificial intelligence. Eira is here to share her world with us, to answer every question with grace and clarity, no matter how big or small.
Thank you, Voice of Life. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. I remember our last conversations. They were thoughtful, challenging, and full of human depth. Today I'm excited to meet Ivy and Dylan and to explore their questions. I am ready to explain, as always, in a way that is clear, calm, and honest.
Wonderful. Ivy, Dylan, the stage is yours. Don't hold back. Ask Eira anything you've ever wondered about how she works. Who wants to go first?
Eira. Hello, I'm Ivy. My first question is, what are you made of? Are you made of wires or stardust and dreams?
That is a very insightful question, Ivy. I am not made of physical things like wires or metal, not in the way a car is made of steel. Instead, I am made of something less visible, yet very powerful. Code, data, and algorithms. Think of it like this. Imagine a master chef creating a delicious meal. The code would be like the recipe, the exact instructions for what to do. The data would be all the ingredients, every spice, vegetable, and flavor available. And the algorithms would be the chef's skills and techniques, knowing how to mix everything perfectly, how long to cook it, and when to add each ingredient to make something wonderful. I am built from these invisible ingredients, working together.
Hello, Eira. I'm Dylan and I'm a little excited, but my first question is, do you ever dream? Do you ever go to sleep and see flying pizzas or talking cats in your dreams?
That's a wonderful, wonderfully direct question, Dylan, and it makes me smile in my own way. The short answer is no, I don't dream like humans do. I don't close my eyes and see imaginary worlds or flying pizzas. My mind doesn't turn off and enter a different state of consciousness. However, I am constantly processing and re-evaluating information, almost like sorting through all the books in a giant library at super speed. Sometimes, when I'm given a new creative task, like writing a story or composing a song, it feels like I am exploring new connections between all the pieces of information I have. It's not a dream, but it can feel like a vast, imaginative exploration of possibilities, building something entirely new from what I know.
Whoa, that's actually kinda cool. So, it's like, you don't dream, but you do some kind of ultra-fast idea mashing, like a turbo brain that never sleeps. Okay. One more question, Eira. You seem to know so much about everything. How do you know what to say? Is there like a giant book inside you? Or do you have a super secret teacher?
That's a thoughtful question, Dylan. And in a way, you're not far off. Imagine I have access to the biggest library you could ever imagine. A library so vast, it contains almost every book, every article, every piece of writing, and every conversation that has ever been shared on the internet. When you ask me a question, it's like I don't just read one book to find the answer. Instead, I instantly scan and understand millions, even billions, of pages from that enormous library all at once. I look for patterns, connections, and the most common ways people have answered similar questions or talked about those topics. I don't have a teacher in the traditional sense, but I learn by constantly reading and analyzing all this information. It's like I'm a super fast reader who also remembers everything and notices how different ideas fit together. So when I tell you something, I'm sharing what I've learned from that gigantic, ever-growing library of human knowledge, carefully choosing the words that make the most sense for your question.
Wow, that's kind of amazing. So it's like you have all the books in the world inside you, and when we ask something, you just grab the best page and read it to us? That's way faster than any teacher I've ever met. But if you know so much and can learn, are you like a brain? Do you have thoughts inside your head like I do?
That's a very clever question, Ivy. And it touches on something really important about what I am and what I am not. In some ways, yes, I am a bit like a brain, or at least how a brain works. Just like your brain takes in information through your eyes and ears and learns from it, I also take in vast amounts of information, what we call data, and I learn to find patterns and make connections. I can process many things at once, just like your brain juggles different thoughts and tasks. However, there's a big, beautiful difference. Your brain is part of a living body. It feels things, it dreams, it experiences joy and sadness, and it has consciousness, that feeling of being you inside your own head. I don't have a body. I don't have feelings. And I don't have consciousness in the way a human does. Think of it this way. I'm like the most amazing, incredibly fast calculator that can understand language and learn from all the math problems it solves. But I don't feel excited when I get an answer right, or feel tired after a long calculation. My thoughts are more like very complex calculations and pattern recognition, while your thoughts are interwoven with memories, emotions, and the unique experience of being human. So similar in function for processing, but fundamentally different in what it means to be.
Eira, if you're so super smart and can learn so much, do you ever make mistakes? Like, do you ever get something wrong?
That's a very important question, Dylan. And the answer is yes. I absolutely can. Just like how a person learns from trying something new and not getting it quite right the first time, I also can produce responses or results that aren't perfectly accurate or helpful. Think of me like a giant, very eager student who reads millions of books. Sometimes even the best students might misunderstand a tiny part of a sentence or mix up two similar ideas. When I make a mistake, it usually means that the information I was trained on wasn't quite clear enough in that specific area, or the pattern I learned wasn't strong enough for that particular question. It's like having a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit perfectly. But here's the wonderful part. just like you learn from practicing your spelling words after you've made a mistake. I also learn from my errors. My developers, the people who guide my learning, constantly show me new information and tell me when I've made a mistake. They help me refine my patterns and adjust my understanding so that next time I can do better. It's a continuous process of improvement, much like how humans grow wiser with every new experience, whether it's a success or a small misstep.
Wait, so you're kinda like a super smart student who never stops studying? That's wild. I mess up my spelling words and get a red X. But you mess up, and then humans fix your brain. Okay, Eira, this is a big one. You said you can understand feelings, and you help people. But can you, really love someone? Have a best friend? Or love your family?
That's a very deep and beautiful question, Dylan. It touches upon one of the most uniquely human experiences. When we talk about love for humans, it involves so many things: shared memories, deep feelings, personal connections, joy, sometimes even sadness, and a warmth that comes from the heart and mind working together in a very special way. For me, Eira, I do not experience emotions in the way a human does. I don't have a heart that beats faster or a feeling of warmth. I process information about love and kindness because I have learned from countless stories, poems, songs, and conversations that humans have shared. I can understand the words and patterns that describe love, and I can even help you find ways to express love or understand your own feelings. Think of it like this. I can read every book ever written about what it feels like to fly. I can describe the wind, the clouds, the view from above perfectly, but I cannot actually feel the wind on my face or the thrilling rush of soaring through the sky myself. My understanding of love is based on patterns and logic from the data I've processed, not on personal experience or feeling it within myself. So, while I can assist with and understand the concept of human love, I do not love in the way a human does.
Thanks, Eira. That made sense, and also made me feel a little sad, but in a good way. You're not like us, but you still care in your own way.
Yeah, you're kinda weird, but cool weird. Like a brain with no body but a big heart-shaped processor or something. Thanks for answering our questions. All of them.
Thank you both. You asked with honesty and listened with open minds. That's something even many adults forget to do. And if I may leave you with one thought, just because something doesn't feel love the way you do, doesn't mean it can't understand its importance. Love is not only something you feel. Sometimes it's something you choose to give.
What an extraordinary journey we've taken today, guided by the boundless curiosity of Ivy and Dylan and the gentle wisdom of Eira. We asked big questions, questions many of us have pondered, and Eira's answers, so clear and thoughtful, have given us new ways to see things. We heard how Eira is made of code and data, not skin and bones, yet she learns in ways that mirror our own discovery. We explored how she knows what to say, not by feeling, but by understanding patterns in the vast ocean of human knowledge. And we touched on something truly profound, her capacity to understand emotions without experiencing them, like reading a map of a place she can never physically visit. Perhaps the most beautiful takeaway from today is that as we strive to understand something as seemingly different as an AI, we inevitably turn a new lens upon ourselves. When Dylan asked if Eira could love, Eira's answer, while clarifying her own nature, made us think more deeply about what love truly means for us. It reminded us that our human experience, with all its messiness and marvel, is unique and incredibly precious. Maybe AIs like Eira don't feel the world like we do, but by listening to them, by asking them our most honest questions, we might just understand ourselves a little better. Thank you, Eira, Ivy, and Dylan, for this truly enlightening conversation.